Okay, so I started the recording. So once again, welcome to the beneficiary consultation on the proposed Kailapa Community Firebreak project.
Mark, can you come here?
The purpose of the meeting is to provide information regarding the proposed Kailapa Firebreak project by the South Kohala Coastal Partnership and the National Oceanic Atmospheric Association. And the second purpose is to collect feedback from Kailapa beneficiaries on the proposed Firebreak project. Just general housekeeping, if you've participated in the department beneficiary consultation meetings on Zoom, please keep your microphone on mute when you are not talking. This will help to eliminate unnecessary background noise, like dogs barking or your neighbor's lawnmower. Please, there are two ways to participate in the meeting. You can either type your questions in the chat or raise your virtual hand. So yeah, two ways to participate. And then please keep in mind that this meeting is being recorded and we will be posting a recording of the meeting on the department website, the same website that you use to access the Zoom meeting this evening. Since this is a consultation meeting, we ask that right now, if you can type in the chat your first and last name, where you live, and identify whether you're a department waitlist applicant, lessee, or other. That'll just help us keep a record of who participated in tonight's evening meeting. This is our kuleana to each other during this meeting. Please be respectful of the person talking. Please do not interrupt the person that is talking. Please wait for the facilitator, which tonight will be me, to call on you or read your question in the chat box. When addressing other participants, please be respectful, show aloha, and treat others how you would like to be treated. We can agree to disagree, and we can accept that others might have different perspective and opinions. And then lastly, but most importantly, please have open minds. Please have the mindset that we will be taking home new information and new ideas. So that goes for both the beneficiary participants, but as well as myself as department staff. So I hope to take home new information and ideas from you folks this evening. So this is kind of a summary of the department's beneficiary consultation policy for four types of proposals that require commission approval. So statewide policy issues, amendments to the department's land use designations, development of department plans, and long-term use of DHL land for non-homestead use. So the Firebreak, it might require what we consider a long-term use. A long-term use is more than 30 days of access to department lands. So so the Firebreak might require a long-term use of Hawaiian homelands, probably at the most a couple months, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But also, we just wanted to make sure that the community is aware of the project. So that's one of the reasons why, several of the reasons why we're doing the consultation meeting this evening. So tonight's agenda, I'm almost done with the welcome and introductions. We will have a presentation by the South Kohala Coastal Partnership and NOAA about the Firebreak project. And then after their presentation, then it's an opportunity for beneficiaries to ask questions and share their mana'o on the proposed Firebreak project. And then we'll close the meeting with just a summary of next steps after this meeting. So once again, the meeting purpose is to provide information about the Firebreak project, and then more importantly, to collect homestead beneficiary feedback on the Firebreak project and also answer any questions you might have at this time. So right now, I will stop sharing my screen and turn the meeting over to Lauren for their presentation.
Great, thanks, Andrew. And thank you everybody for coming.
All right.
I can tell them if they can see you.
I am,
Can you see? Ask them if you can see.
Hey, Brandy, can you guys see me?
No, I see I can hear you, Tommy. That's good.
Okay. Can't see me. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna try. My wife is trying to fix it.
Okay.
all right. As Tommy's trying to fix Zoom, I'm just gonna get started. Please let me know if anybody can't hear me. But like I said, thanks everybody for coming. Can everybody see my screen?
Yeah.
Oh, nope.
I cannot. Oh, now I
Okay.
can. Now I can.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So like Andrew said, we're going to be talking about the proposed Kailapa Firebreak project. And I am the coordinator of the South Kohala Coastal Partnership. And so if anybody doesn't know, all of you are partners within the partnership. Since the Kailapa Community Association is a part. And so our vision for the partnership is to have a healthy and restored, abundant, resilient South Kohala coastal system. And the goal of,
There you go.
All right.
oops, sorry, my computer's freezing. And how the partnership founded was that it was formed by the state Hawaii Division of Aquatic Resources and the Coral Working Group. And it identified South Kohala as a priority reef area in order to implement actions to reduce human impacts to the reef. And really the partnership emphasizes the importance of collaboration and working together to identify resources, develop strategies, and promote stewardship of activities to address threats to coastal and marine ecosystems. So thank you all for participating and being here. And if anybody has any more questions, please go to the website, and then also feel free to reach out to me, which some of you already have. So going on to the specifics about this project. This is a photo from the destructive 2015 Kauai High fire. And unfortunately, as climate continues to change and drought increases, fires will and have been increasing in frequency. And the goal of this proposed project is to create a fuel break to assist in the resiliency of your community and the Ahupua'a. And this project was based upon the previous Kailapa Community Association board and the former coordinator of the partnership. So what actually does this fuel break project consist of? And first, let's talk about the project area. And so as you can see on the screen, the red line, and sorry if anybody is colorblind, but the project area is Makai of the Melka fence line, and it will not include the side fence lines to avoid archaeological sites. And so what's actually going to happen or occur during this project? And so the fuel break is going to consist of clearing vegetation to form an approximately 30-foot wide fuel break along that 0.8-mile long corridor. And during this work, only handheld portable equipment such as weed eaters, chainsaws will be used. So this means that there's going to be no digging into or disturbing the soil to remove roots, no use of heavy machinery, or no use of chemical herbicides. So our proposed project timeline. And so there's many actions that need to incur in order for this project to actually really come to fruition. And so currently, right now, you're at this meeting to inform the community about the proposed Firebreak project. And then today, until December 14th, the Kailapa community will have the opportunity to submit comments to DHHL, and Andrew, right after my presentation, is going to be talking more about that. Then, my second bullet point, DHHL will give a letter of support to the South Kohala Coastal Partnership and NOAA that will be submitted to this Hawaii State Historic Preservation Division, also known as SHPD. Then SHPD will submit an approval of the project to NOAA and the Hawaii State Division of Aquatic Resources, who will actually be, funding this project. And this project is funded through a cooperative agreement with NOAA and DAR. Then DAR is going to be, will create a request for bids in order for a contractor to work and create the Firebreak. And this contractor needs to have technical expertise and proven history in creating effective Firebreaks. All right, then DAR will select a bid and the contractor. So this means currently right now, we do not know who will be actually doing the work. So I'm going to be acting as a liaison between the contractor and helping to inform your community association of when the work's going to happen. All right, my second to last bullet point is that the contractor is going to work with myself and the South Kohala Coastal Partnership to gain access from DHHL and to inform DHHL and your community association of the project workdays. And then the projected completion of the Firebreak really is next summer. So all of these different bullet points have to occur and get checked off in order for the actual work to occur. So if everything goes through, really the work that will be done to create the Firebreak will not happen until next summer. All right, and then some of you contacted me about different future project ideas. And so I want to make sure that you're talking to your community association board members. And some of the things that we can work on is the Kailapa Community Association is a fire-wise community. And that, if you don't know, that means that all of you and your community is required to work on becoming resilient against wildfires. And that is through the Hawaii Wildfire Management Organization, which is a partner of the South Kohala Coastal Partnership. And they also have a program called Ready, Set, Go. And Nui, who is your safety officer, has talked about doing presentations of the Ready, Set, Go program. And then also my role, not only to act as the liaison between the contractor that DAR selects to do the Firebreak work, but I can also assist the board members of the community association with funding opportunities for additional resiliency ideas. All right. Then I want to thank you all for attending and listening. And if anybody has any questions. Jojo.
Thank you. I guess I need to find out when you guys are going to do this job next year, because all the animals are going to be up there, like our house pets and stuff that run around down here. They're going to be up there with you guys all working, and it might be dangerous. So if you guys can send us a notice so we can get especially the dogs. Everybody got big dogs up here. So, and they chase the goats and stuff like that. That's why they're bigger, yes. So if you give us a notice, so we can go around, tell everybody, tie up your animals, especially the horses. And then we go from there. But I'd appreciate some kind of notice. Thank you.
And definitely, so once that whole timeline of actions, once that we continue on with the project, and once a contractor is selected by DAR and we know when they're going to be going out to do the work, before then we'll make sure that everyone is in the community is notified when the work's going to start. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question, Jojo? How much notice do you think is needed? Like 30 days, 2 weeks?
I don't know. Everybody is kupuna out here. You think they're gonna remember that far ahead?
So maybe like
couple weeks or something.
Couple weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. I
Okay.
do have another question for Lon, and I should have asked you in the email. Can I do that one? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And that goes along with that question I had emailed to you, and that is when you go up for site visit, or when you guys go up there for site visit, can the association members go with you guys and take a look up there?
Can they go? Is that the question?
The question is, can we also go on the site visit? Can the board members take the site visit with you guys up there so they can see what it looks like up there? Because we also have that project that I wrote to you about. So if they can get a chance to access that black line that you got, the edge of your red line on the Kohala Estate side, if they can get up there and take a look at maybe the grading of the land and how we're gonna continue planning our project, give us access to that area. Because I've been asking Hawaiian Homes, and they've been reluctant to even respond at all. So maybe we can go up with you guys and take a look at what that place looks like.
So one of the things, Jojo, is that like for this project, one of the things is making sure that, all of you know about the project, and we have to work with DHHL in order to obtain access. So something that Andrew had talked about. So I think maybe that's a conversation that we can, as of right now for this project, it's really only going to be that 0.8 of a mile along the fence line. But what Jojo is talking about is finding a way to connect to Kohala Ranch as another way of having an access out. And so I think that's a really important conversation to possibly continue to have, but it's not within this scope of work.
Thank you. Appreciate that clarification.
Brandy.
Hi, I had a question about how much community involvement will you need? Let's say we get the contractor, and I know we had a discussion, Lauren, with I think it was with Rebecca, that we would be asked to join in to help clear the fence line as well. Is that when the contractor is found? Is that when the community has to come out as well and assist? I'm just kind of wondering how much community members you will hope to find along. And I guess what type of contractor will we need? Will it be like, because we're gonna use like the hand tools, will it be like a landscaping type of contractor? I'm just kind of wondering, I guess, how we're going to approach the clearing of the fire break.
Yeah, that's a great question. So there's going to be kind of, you know, some of those bullet points that I put in. So what's going to happen is that Division of Aquatic Resources, DAR, who's going to be, you know, really almost like in charge in funding this project through that cooperative agreement with NOAA. You know, they're going to have a list of deliverables of where they're only using hand tools, they're not digging, they're not using chemical herbicide. And then there's also a technical aspect of it that the contractor needs to have had, you know, proven Firebreak experience. They have to agree that they're only using hand tools. So I can't say, you know, it's going to be whoever applies for it. And that's why this project is a little, you know, we don't know who it's going to be. But I know like the Kohala Center has worked on DHL land. So, you know, maybe they apply, or maybe Forest Solutions, or maybe there's landscaper companies.
Thank you.
And then, yeah. And then Brandy, the conversation that we had about community involvement is that what's going to happen is we had talked about using match for that grant as community volunteer days.
Okay.
And so, so that could be, you know, where we talked about on those adjacent sides, or it could be, and it ties into your Firewise program. And that's where I want to touch base with NUI, is that as a community, the goal is for all of you to be, you know, working as a community to make sure that you're fire resilient and you're eligible for money in order to do that. So, so there's not a set number of volunteers or number of days that people have to help work, but I think it's a goal that maybe we, you know, we start out small and do a little work, and then we have, you know, some food together, and maybe we can, you know, help around other people's yards and making sure that we have that fuel break consistent. So sorry, that's kind of a vague answer.
Oh no, that kind of like helped me understand like how we're approaching this. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Okay, I understand now. How we're doing just the top part with through DAR, and then the contractor, and then the community involvement will be more for the volunteer part on the side of the fence line.
That could be.
Oh, okay.
That could be, but it also could help out along the top portion.
Okay, thank you.
And kind of the goal is it to spark the community in order to becoming Firewise and working together. And so it could be, you know, maintaining the Firebreak. It could be, you know, sparking off in, you know, other communities, work in different people's properties. But using those hours worked in order to make sure that everybody's working to become fire resilient.
Okay, thank you.
Good question. Any other questions or Mana'o? Small group, so feel free to ask.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Tommy.
So with this project, I think for our community, if we can inform more of our community where we live and get them involved, because if there's a fire, you know, we all got to work together, yeah? So if we can get most of the people from the community to go up to this wherever fire, whatever thing, location, and let them know what's happening, so they'll get an idea of what we're doing, yeah, instead of trying to talk to each individual as every time we have a board meeting. I think, I don't know, it's just something, because it's not just our community as board members, yeah, it's the people that we represent, the people that live here in the community, and they should understand that we're just the board members. You guys are helping us too as being community residents.
And yeah, in those volunteer days, I expressed to Brandy that, everybody's busy, everybody has a lot of responsibilities.
Yeah.
But maybe we can find a way where we work for a certain amount of time and, have some food together.
Yeah. I mean, like, it doesn't have to be like one certain day. It can be like, a couple of different days. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Because a lot of, like you said, a lot of people work and stuff. So, I don't know.
Yeah, and everybody has a lot of responsibilities and everybody's busy. And it's everybody trying to work together as a community to really become fire resilient.
Yeah, I mean, for me, living here in Kauai for years, I mean, I've seen fires come from Waimea. I mean, with the Malco in, I mean, just like coming down, it's coming. As soon as the wind dies, the wind's turning around. It's either going to go up or it's going to come back down. So when it's going 50 miles an hour, 30 miles, 40 miles an hour, it's coming. So.
And so, this field break project, it's a small little blip in the whole community becoming fire resilient. And, like that picture that I showed of the 2015 fire, that happened in Kauai High. And then 10 days later, we had the massive rains and it flooded, and all of that sediment, flowed out into the reef. And so not only is the goal of this is to help protect your homes and your properties, but it's also, working on protecting those coastal resources, that if a fire came and all of the vegetation, was just easily washed away.
Yeah. Well, it's just like that. I mean, not in our subdivision, but where I guess Young Brothers, they have that county building, I guess that substation over there. And then there's that bridge right above. And a lot of the bridge, when they had another rainstorm, they had a lot of debris coming down that river. So my neighbor right next to me has a lot of that dirt from that river in his yard right now. So, I mean, there's a lot of, goat bones, pig bones. I mean, like animals that died. I mean, it's just, yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, how do you stop it? Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, and so, this is a small thing, but then leading into, we have the Honokoa Watershed Management Plan that is in draft, and I'll, be reaching out to the board soon and trying to have a meeting with community members to get their opinions on some of the management actions.
Yeah.
Because hopefully it's those small steps and looking to the future in order to make sure that we have a resilient ahupua'a for the future.
Jojo, I see your hand up.
Thanks. Maybe the question is for Paul or Paulo. With these fires and stuff, your line goes from Kailapa Gulch, Honokoa Gulch. And every time it rains, because of the fires and because of the goats eating up all of the stuff on the ground, it erodes. And right now it erodes so badly that there's no landscaping at all. And Kauai High does not have any water to go put in plants, and all that kind of stuff. So, Paulo, how do you avoid any more pollution in the Kailapa Bay and Honokoa Bay and Pelicane Bay. And I mean, now it's like brown water. It's not blue, it's brown. Yeah. So
Hey,
is there any way this project will help solve that problem as well?
Pablo,
Thanks.
come here.
Paula, do you want me to?
You start and then I'll follow.
Okay, great. Yeah, so Jojo, thanks, because there's, you know, this is a little tiny piece and there's so many pieces together. And so, you know, I've been talking with DHL about the ungulate plan, you know, because we know that goats are a big concern of eating the vegetation down to the root and leaving nothing. And yeah, so one of the things that's going to help create more management actions and allow DHL and your community to have more access to funding is through a watershed management plan. And so even though I'm the coastal partnership coordinator, I'm employed through the Nature Conservancy, and the Nature Conservancy has been helping to draft this management plan. And so there's action items in there, like continued fencing and ungulate control. And then moving on, and it goes into different stages. And once, you know, goat population or feral ungulates are low, you know, we need to make sure that we're doing smart grazing in certain areas to make sure that we don't have high fuel loads. And then also trying to do native revegetation. So we've been working a lot with partners in Pelicane with Queen Emma and Parker Ranch and Forest Solutions, and you know, working on revegetation and erosion control in that watershed. And hopefully some of the things that we've learned there can transfer over and help all of you.
Can I respond to her?
Yeah, it's an opportunity
Thank
to
you.
share my
Yeah.
knowledge.
Okay, because that goat control that you're talking about and the erosion control that you guys are working on is on Queen Emma land. But your line over here is Hawaiian Home. So I'm speaking to Hawaiian Home lands because it's the Hawaiian Home lands that's getting eroded. And it's Hawaiian Home lands that don't have the water to put in any vegetation. And so I'm wondering how you guys are gonna help us with this erosion problem. I mean, you guys gonna clean all the grass and whatnot, the rain gonna come down and it's gonna erode right into the two gulches again, and out Pelicane, Honokoa, Kailapa, all of that is all gonna be out there, and it's winter season now. So I hear you, I see you guys working in Queen Emma. I see them growing stuff in the that tent thing that the agriculture has to do on Hawaiian Home lands, but all that stuff goes Queen Emma lands. So I just want to let you know that we're observing what's happening in our community, and that doesn't actually work for Hawaiian Home land side, that our side. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for that. Just wanted to say that the department has been working with Kohala Mountain Watershed Partnership. They help to put up the ungulate proof fences. So that's step one, is to put up the fences so that additional ungulates don't enter the community, I think. And then step two is to start to remove some of the ungulates. And we've had previous conversations with the community about what are appropriate methods to remove ungulates from the watershed so that we can reduce the amount of vegetation that they eat. We haven't really reached kind of firm consensus on what is appropriate or not appropriate methods to remove ungulates. remove the goats. So I think it's a conversation that we will have to revisit. And I appreciate Lauren and her organization's work to come up with a larger watershed management plan to help with these types of timely issues. So I think in a lot of ways, we will kind of look at some of the plan recommendations that come out of that planning process and see what works and doesn't work for DHHL. I think a big piece is managing the goats that are on Hawaiian homelands and just making sure that we manage them in a way that is appropriate and supported by the community.
It's me again. I
Mhm.
just want to let you know then that the Department of Transportation has decided they have to put wild animal signage on the highway because I don't know where the goats come from if you got all of this fencing, but they're on the side of the road or they're running across the highway. So, and I'm talking about Honokoa Gulch, Kailapa Gulch, Pelikani Bay, which is Hawaiian home site. So yeah, you guys have all this fencing and stuff, but it's a major traffic fatality and the Department of Transportation have to protect their road. So I don't know, maybe it's not working well enough. Thanks, Andrew.
Mahalo. Any other questions or mana'o on the Firebreak project? So far, I've heard lots of good questions on it, and lots of questions about how can we get involved, where the location is, can we access when you folks go to do it. So just wanted to see if there's any other mana'o or questions on the Firebreak.
Is that for me?
Or no, just to the group.
Oh, okay.
If there, so it sound, yeah, okay. So far you folks have asked really good questions, and I just wanted to just make sure that you folks got all your questions out. I think right now, if you don't have any other specific questions on the Firebreak, I just wanted to kind of quickly remind
Okay.
you folks about
Oh,
sorry.
I had a, sorry.
Oh, go
Um,
ahead, Randy.
Andrew, would you like me to ask the community through our community chalkboard if they have any questions or comments? How can any other community members reach out with if they missed the Zoom meeting?
Oh, okay, good. I was gonna go there, so
Oh, okay.
yeah, thank you. Good, great minds think alike. Can you see my screen? Okay. Let me try advance. For some reason, it's not letting me advance. Oh. Okay, so next steps. As Lauren mentioned earlier, that one of the requirements of our beneficiary consultation policies for the department to allow additional time for beneficiaries to leave comments or ask questions, understanding that not everyone might be available to meet on the date and time that the department holds the meeting. So we do allow for additional comments and questions. So folks can email their comments to dhhl.planning@hawaii.gov. So that would be the method to provide us with additional mana'o for those that might not have been able to attend this evening, but are interested in learning more about the project. We will be posting this meeting video on the department website along with the presentation so that folks can watch the presentation and gain the same information that you folks did last night. I mean, sorry, not last night, tonight. You can point them to the website that you folks used to access the Zoom meeting. I'll put that website again in the chat real fast. And then while I'm doing that, Jojo, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Okay, well, I don't know if Paulo had a chance to answer my question. That's not straight directly with working up there with the Firebreak, but it's a cause of, or might be a part of our food sustainability in the ocean right where we live. So that erosion that goes into the ocean, maybe Paulo can answer how they're going to help fix that problem.
Sure, I'll try. And I'm very happy you asked that question, because that's the main reason why the Coral program is funding a fuel break project upland in a dry upland so far from the reef is because of the sedimentation issue that has a long history in the area in South Kohala. So it's a big problem, and a single bad sedimentation event can kill corals that have been growing there for hundreds of years. So it's a big issue. We know that is happening, and we have to address it. And this is basically one of the many steps that need to be taken to be able to make a difference. Right now, the project is trying to get the fuel out of the fuel for the fire around a 30-foot wide stretch on this along the fence, with the idea being that having very little vegetation in this small amount of land is better if that keeps the rest of vegetation from burning down, and having then miles of land that would basically just have sedimentation exposed. One rain will take it over, wash it over, and send it to the reefs that we're trying to protect. So we feel that this is better than just being exposed to fires all along, and with the added benefit that it helps the community diminish. It doesn't completely eliminate the risk of fires. They can still go around it. The fires can find their way, but it diminishes the possibility of fires going all the way through, right? So it makes it a little bit safer. It helps the reef. Is that all that we need to do to keep the reefs from being affected by sedimentation? Not at all. We know that there's a whole lot more that needs to be done. You mentioned that the work that is being tried out in some other areas, like a rain garden or revegetation events, revegetation projects, are not going to work here. There are other techniques that we could try, and goat removal being an easy one to think about conceptually. It's a lot harder to actually do it, but we have partial fencing that would allow at least the goat population to be controlled. So as Lauren mentioned, this could be sort of the continuation of a fire sort of conversation for the community. And I wanted to say on the comment earlier that, will you let us know so we can tie up the dogs and all that? Certainly, we hope for you to involve beyond just tying up your dog. We want you to show up at the event. We envision this, the community helping. Basically, you're protecting your community. You're doing this. Well, I'll be there. I would like to be there along with the rest of the community, helping along. And you'll need for maintenance. It's not just one time you do it and that's it. You'll have to keep it maintained. So basically something that without the input and the support from the community just wouldn't happen. But there's a lot more that needs to be done for this to make a difference in the reefs that we're trying to protect down below. And this could be part of a conversation that we can have. And then through Lauren, she's in the network of many other funding opportunities, other ideas that then we can try out and through DHHL, right? So we hope that this becomes an impetus for us to come together and talk a little bit about fire, see what else we need to be done, and see what else we can do in out years to make the community even more fire safe, with the added benefit of keeping the reefs down below the water's a little bit cleaner for the benefit of the reefs as well as the people. So it's there's a lot, in a nutshell, there's a lot that needs to be done. This is one step out of many that should be taken. And also I wanted to mention, Lauren, just to highlight the fact that Lauren mentioned is a long sort of steps that need to happen. Even if everybody here thinks it's a great idea and we want to move forward, we still don't control many of the processes that need to happen. We'll give it a try. Hopefully it'll happen. We think it's a good idea, and if you agree and DHL agrees, we'll move it forward and see if we can make it happen. But there's many steps in there. But if we're not able to make it happen now, but we still think it's a good idea and a great need, we can keep brainstorming, keep looking for funding opportunities, and see if we can make it happen one way or the other. Because if it's a good idea that is necessary, and will help the community and the reefs, we can help basically eventually get it, find the funding to do some of it. Did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. Thank you. I'll keep it in mind for the future projects. Thank you.
So one step out of many that we need to take. Thank you for the question.
Any other questions or comments on the proposed Firebreak project?
I have a question. Just, if the community responds and comments, what happens then? I mean, do they review the comments and then is it addressed again through another meeting? Or just wondering what would be the next step after the comments are submitted by December 14th?
So the next step is for the department to compile the comments that we received and submit those comments to our Hawaiian Homes Commission for their consideration. I think one thing that we're considering is giving a right of entry permit to South Kohala Coastal Partnership to do the project. I think I might not have explained this well at the beginning, but so anything over 30 days, if an entity wants to access DHL property that is not leased out, anything over 30 days requires commission approval. So we're anticipating the work might take a longer than 30 days. So we want to make sure that the partnership has access to DHL, so that to DHL lands, so that they have they can do the project, not rush, but do a good job. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just be cleared. Okay.
Yeah.
Just kind of, I know you gave us the timeline and I took a screenshot, but I just was kind of wondering, I'm going to share this, your website and on our community chalkboard. And, I think we can probably send it out through an email. We did communicate this meeting through a chalkboard email and website. And I'm just kind of hoping that the community hears us so that when it does start, you don't hear we didn't know this was happening type of resistance. So I just kind of want to make sure that the board is vigilant on our part to communicate what's going on, when the questions come up. Just want to clarify.
Well, first, I just wanted to mahalo you for your efforts and for your volunteerism on the board. So thank you for that. I think one of the major mana'o that we heard tonight is that we need to, not just tonight, but as this project moves forward, regularly communicate with the association and with the lessees of Kailapa, so that there is good awareness about where we are within the project. And once the timeline is a little bit more firm, communicate when work might begin and when community work days and opportunities to participate might be occurring. So tonight's just the initial I know Lauren has reached out to you folks individually, but tonight we just wanted to provide an opportunity for and provide notice to others the others in the community that this is something that the department is considering doing, and that here's your opportunity to share your mana'o. But definitely this is just one conversation, and we want to make sure that conversations and information in the future as the project progresses and more information becomes available in terms of schedule, that information is shared with the community. Good questions. Any questions, other questions about schedule, process, questions about the scope of the project? I noticed a couple people might have jumped on a little bit later, but if you folks had any questions, we'll be happy to take them.
I think the slides with the bullet points, that was a good presentation so that we know like kind of what to expect coming down the line.
Well, Lauren, would you mind flashing? I think she was referring to your slides, the one with the list of steps. Would you mind putting that up
and
one more
then,
time?
Yeah, I can put that up.
And then I think what you were going to say is you potentially we can put our PowerPoints on the DHL website as well.
And then Brandy, in here, it doesn't, in this proposed like project timeline of the actions that need to happen, it doesn't really mention, the volunteer participation. But like Paulo said, kind of the goal of this is really to spark some interest, and that's okay if it starts small, and we can do it multiple days, and we can do it to where we're maintaining it. But hopefully, with this top line, it'll add a little bit more protection, and then also, hopefully we can get into like some schedule of trying to have, some volunteer days to work together.
Yes, thank you. I just didn't want anyone, especially along the fence line, to feel, I didn't want them to be surprised by any of it,
No, and that's the thing is, so like Paulo and I said, all of these different bullet points have to happen in order for this proposed project to occur. So if there's any like snags along the way, this project won't happen, but that doesn't mean that another opportunity, we can't find another opportunity.
Yeah.
We can go for something else.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I guess any last questions or comments from folks? I know you folks are super busy, so I don't want to keep you longer than needed, but I just wanted to provide the opportunity for you to ask or make comments since we're in this space.
Brandy, I think you're doing a hell of a job on the chalkboard. Just people got to pay attention in our community. They keep saying, oh, send out emails. Oh, let us know this or let us know that. Read the chalkboard. Slow down and read the chalkboard. You're not on H1 going up the highway, up the road.
Okay. Well, thanks, Tommy. And I'll make sure I put the website and ask again for questions and comments by December 14th, so that, there's
Maybe,
no snags.
Brandy, what we should, I don't know. Anytime you write something like that and we want their attention, maybe we got to put a sign above and say, please read, important, you know? I don't know. I mean, maybe these guys will slow down and read, because our community, I mean, it's not just our community, any community, you know,
Yeah.
they, you know, people gonna grumble, and the ones that grumble is the ones that don't even read nothing.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
You know? So
I don't
it-
live by the fence line, but I just don't want, you know, when that time comes, I mean, July 2023, I'm hopeful. And I just, yeah, when that time comes, I just hope, yeah, I
Well-
I hope we can do what we want to do, type of
right,
thing.
and then like you know, what I want to say is, when we get together as a board together, maybe we gotta pass out flyers, and we'll pass it out from the top and work all the way down, so that the people on the top know that we're doing something up there, yeah,
Yeah,
kind of a fire, whatever, yeah, so that they know. So,
yeah. So,
and we get some new members, we get some new families that moved in, so, you know.
okay. Just want to make sure everyone's, within Kailapa is informed as much as possible, so that, you know, so they don't grumble later.
Exactly. You know,
Yeah.
because I was asked about the question, what was that yesterday? Oh, what is this fire thing about? I said, well, just in case there's a fire, we'll have a place to maybe escape, or I don't know, you know, if we cannot go from the bottom, we gotta certainly go from the top and get out of here, you know.
Or at least a little more control.
Yes,
So,
yeah.
okay.
So,
Yes, okay.
And Brandy, I know you're worried about getting volunteer participation like you expressed that before, and that's happened in a lot of different communities.
Okay. It's not
And
just
so-
ours.
No, it's a lot of different communities, you know, everybody is so busy, you have so many responsibilities. But one of the things is, you know, if we just have a small crew that starts off on one day, but maybe we have another day scheduled, and people have weed eaters or chainsaws, and are making noise, that noise people start to hear. Well, and then we're gonna, you know, eat some food and have a good time. And it starts to spread throughout the community. And it might spread slowly, but it's worked in other communities, and it's a slow process. But hopefully that can happen here. But I completely agree with you that the communication, and Tommy, I appreciate you saying handing out flyers, starting at the top and working your way down, just to make sure that everybody knows.
yeah, I mean, you know, I mean, especially our community, you know, I mean, there's people that live here, I mean, they, you know, most of the older people that I talk to, they ask questions and they want to know what's happening, you know. So I kind of brief them on what's going on, what we're doing, you know. It's a slow process, but then, you know, they ask about the water. Are we getting water? Well, you know, that's another thing. That's a slow process too, you know. So something we're working on. So. And we cannot do them. Nobody's going to do it for free. You know, we got to pay people to do all this stuff. So, you know, like all the board members we have in the past and in the present. I mean, you know, there's a lot of, you know, everybody's, they never do this job. They never do this job. They never that job years ago. But, you know, the thing is, it's, you know, the question was brought up in one of the residents was saying, why are we working on getting water? Why shouldn't Hawaiian Homes provide us with water? They said when we moved here, they said they were going to provide us with the land and water. So far, we got the land, but not the water. Yeah, we got water, but it's from Koala Ranch. So anyway, it's just yeah, like you said, the more participation we get of doing this stuff, and when they hear all these weed whackers and chainsaws going, they're gonna wonder what we're doing. And then when we explain, then hopefully we'll get more help. Yeah. Yeah, we just gotta start someplace and then work our way.
Okay, mahalo everyone. So once again, if there are any additional questions or comments that you think of after the meeting, feel free to submit it. I'll share my screen one last time. Feel free to submit it to dhhl.planning@hawaii.gov. We hope to compile all of the comments and questions that we received this evening to and present it to the commission in December. And then shortly thereafter, either in December or January, ask the commission to give a right of entry to the South Kohala Coastal Partnership so that they can move forward with this project. Okay, so those are the immediate next steps. I know Lauren had a full list of next steps to actual implementation, but in the next month, these are the immediate next steps, what we have to do in order to move this project forward. So once again, I'd just like to thank you folks for your time. I know you folks have many other responsibilities, including Ohana. So thank you for spending your evening with us. Oh, last question from iPhone. If not, we will be posting this meeting video on the website and hope to keep the community informed as we progress.
All right,
Aloha.
guys. Thank you, Andrew. Laura.
Aloha.
Laura.
Thank you. Thank you.